Wife!
Do you remember where we were yesterday and where we are today?
Well, yesterday we read Ezekiel Chapter 28, and in that chapter, God was rebuking the leader of Tyre.
The leader of the Tyre.
Yeah. He was apparently too arrogant about his wonderful city that God went on about in length about how wonderful it was.
Right.
And he thought too much of himself. So because it was wonderful and he went on about how wonderful it was, God's going to kill him.
Yes.
Or make him suffer or do something really bad and sink his ship and all kinds of crap.
This is why we can't have good things.
Right. Yeah, apparently it was like some comment on pride or something, which, okay, I guess. But you know what? The longer I live, the more I am in this world, to the extent that it doesn't affect other people, I feel like it's a good thing to have pride.
Yeah.
Pride is a good thing. You should be prideful.
I take pride in my successes,
right,
and I take responsibility for my faults.
Yeah. Now, if you have pride to the extent that it's harmful to other people, that's a different story, I guess.
That's not pride, that's arrogance.
Right.
And shittiness and assholeryness.
Yeah. So but pride is one of those things that is like not good in the Bible, I think. Because if you're prideful, you're not allowing for God, right? You're not humble before God. You're supposed to be humble.
Yeah, you're supposed to like be a piece of shit and talk about how much you suck and how, you are a sinner from birth and from time memorial before you.
Right.
And nothing you can ever do is good, and kiss the ring and bend the knee and suck God's big old horse wiener thing. Yeah.
So before we get into today's episode, I do want to cover one thing that I've been throwing out, and I have changed it up. So if you head to our website, which is sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, and then do a /shop, you can help us out by shopping on Amazon through that link. And any of your purchases will give us a little bit of a kickback from those if you do that for us. So definitely go to that page, bookmark it, use that when you shop on Amazon. We would definitely appreciate it. That being said, what we just got done reading yesterday was Ezekiel Chapter 28.
Sure as fuck was.
Which means that today we're getting into
Ezekiel Chapter 29.
All right, let's do this.
Okie dokie. All right, Ezekiel, or Ezekiel, as I like to say.
You took away my bit.
I did. Chapter 29.
All right.
We're going to yell at Egypt, and we're going to start out with a date, and so then I will immediately jump over to my notes to tell you what that date means.
Got it. Okay.
And I just wanted to give you that heads up, because it's before we even complete the first sentence.
Okay.
Which I hate.
Sure.
All right, ready?
I'm ready.
In the 10th year, in the 10th month, on the 12th day, the word of the Lord came to me.
Okay.
Good stuff.
Yep.
All right. So in the 10th year, 10th month, 12th day.
Yeah.
Corresponds to about January 7th, 587 BCE.
Okay.
And that was the 10th year of Zedekiah.
Sure.
All right. So anyway, on that fucking day, the word of the Lord came, and guess what he said?
I don't know. What did he say?
Son of man.
Yeah, mere human. Yes.
You fucking worm. Set your face against Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and prophesy against him and against all of Egypt.
This is like a better version of the ending of Jeremiah.
Yes. I was thinking the same thing.
Like in Jeremiah, they were like, we're going to just real quick trash all these other groups.
Yeah.
But Ezekiel's like, no, we're going to go in detail about it. We're going to talk about them and like do this for real.
Yeah. Yeah, let's sit down with Dr. Phil and do an interview. And I'm like, but do you really want to go up against Egypt? Don't you remember? That's where you fucking came from.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
Well, I mean, I don't think that they ever got conquered. So, like,
right.
I mean, this prophecy, whatever this is coming, probably is not correct. To some extent.
I'm not sure. Let's talk about it.
All right. I'm just saying.
Let's see what they have to say.
Yeah.
Okay. So turn your face to Egypt and bitch about him.
Sure.
Speak to him and say, this is what the sovereign Lord says.
Okay.
I says, I'm against you, Pharaoh, king of Egypt, you great monster lying among your streams.
Wow.
You say, the Nile belongs to me. I made it for myself.
Okay.
But I will put hooks in your jaws and make the fish of your streams stick to your fucking scales.
Okay.
I will pull you out from among your streams with all the fish sticking to your scales. Ew.
Sticking to your scales. Like you weigh it on the scale and they'll stick to it, and then that causes a problem, I guess, or something.
I think he's gonna be referring to him as a crocodile, but I'm not there yet, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
I think it means like the scales of a fish.
All right.
But I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I will leave you in the desert, you and all the fish of your streams. You will fall on the open field and not be gathered or picked up. I will give you as food to the beasts of the earth and the birds of the sky. Then all who live in Egypt will know
that he is the Lord.
That I am the Lord.
Yeah,
you got it. You have been a staff of reed for the people of Israel. When they grasped you with their hands, you splintered and you tore open their shoulders. When they leaned on you, you broke and their backs were wrenched.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm so mad at you, Egypt. You stick.
So far, I haven't heard him say he's going to destroy them, though. Which is interesting because, Egypt is very large.
Right.
And so it's interesting that he's not like everybody else that he hates. He's like, I'm going to destroy you, right?
Well, I mean, he bitched at him for a minute before he got there. So
that's true. Maybe he's still going to do that. Yeah, I don't know.
We've got some chapter left. Let's see what happens.
Sure.
Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says.
Okay.
I will bring a sword against you and kill both man and beast.
Okay, here it is. Okay.
Egypt will become a desolate wasteland. Then they will know
that he's the Lord?
That I'm the Lord.
But again, I just have to say this because we did some research back during Jeremiah that showed that, yes, there was a problem. Like one of the kings got dethroned or something like that.
Yeah.
But Egypt never got conquered, never got taken over.
No.
Nothing like that happened.
Certainly didn't get wiped off the map since they're,
Yeah, they're still there.
To this very day, right?
Yeah, I'm sure that there's apologists out there that are like, well, they were referring to the king, of course, or it hasn't happened yet. Yeah,
it's yet to come. Yeah.
It's just whatever is most convenient in any discussion you're having.
Sure. Yeah. Because you said the Nile is mine, I made it. Therefore, I'm against you and against your streams, and I will make the land of Egypt a ruin and a desolate waste from Migdol to Aswan as far as the border of Cush. I got a note about those locations.
Okay. Yeah.
So the word Migdol means tower.
Okay.
And it could be like a raised part in the river, or it could be like a huge tower, actually.
Okay.
And so when he's saying from Migdol to Aswan, he's saying two different cities. Cush being the third one that he mentioned.
Yeah.
Those three cities are the ones where the Jewish people were resettled in Egypt during the exile.
Sure.
So
okay.
That's what he's talking about there.
Okay. All right.
So anyway, the foot of neither man nor beast will pass through it. No one will live there for 40 years.
40 years, huh?
Yeah. I think he got that one wrong.
I think he got that wrong. Right, because we actually did more research where it showed like there was like millions of people.
Millions of people
that were Jewish living in Egypt at the end of the exile.
Yeah, millions.
So
guys.
Like that doesn't sound like they were
that's not 40 years of emptiness.
No.
Nope. I will make the land of Egypt desolate among devastated lands, and her cities will lie desolate 40 years among ruined cities. And I will disperse the Egyptians among the nations and scatter them through the countries.
I'm going to go with this is a completely failed prophecy.
False, yeah.
You know, like this is wrong. This is bad. Like
try again, God.
Again, I'm sure the apologists work really hard, and I am curious. Like I want to go over this in the Q&A.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, this is wrong.
Yeah.
This is bad.
What do you guys have to say about this, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
Like they're going to throw out things like they lost a battle to Babylon out in this area.
Right.
Or they lost a battle here and the king got deposed or whatever.
But this makes it sound like the same way he's talked about these other cities. I'm going to wipe you off the fucking map.
Yeah.
And that clearly did not happen.
Right.
Yet this is what the sovereign Lord says.
Is it?
At the end of 40 years, I will gather the Egyptians from the nations where they were scattered. I will bring them back from captivity and return them to Upper Egypt, the land of their ancestry.
Okay.
There they will be a lowly kingdom. It will be the lowliest of kingdoms and will never again exalt itself above the other nations. I will make it so weak that it will never again rule over the nations.
Interesting.
Egypt will no longer be a source of confidence for the people of Israel, but will be a reminder of their sin and turning to her for help.
Why would he make an exception among the nations that he's destroying, other than his own people, to bring the Egyptians back?
Because that's where they came out of captivity originally, and he's got a soft spot for them. I think it's more of a understanding that it will never happen fully. Yeah, probably.
You know, like, we're not going to be able to complete this one.
I thought you were talking about why did God make an exception.
Oh, well, God doesn't exist, so, that's a moot point.
So you actually meant why did the prophecy / writer people make an exception? Oh, yeah, totally. They were like, I don't know, guys, it's Egypt.
Yeah, they're not going to actually
They've been around forever.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, they're here as big as Babylon.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah, this doesn't make sense.
No. Then they will know
that he is the Lord?
The sovereign Lord.
Oh, the sovereign Lord.
He is the sovereign Lord. Yeah. Okay, we got another date.
Okay,
ready?
Yep.
In the 27th year, in the first month, on the first day, the word of the Lord came to me.
Okay. This sounds like much later, because the first one was like the 10th year or something.
Yeah.
So this is like 17 years later.
Yeah, this is April 26th, 571 BCE.
Okay.
The other one, this is 571. The other one was 587.
Yeah, that's a big jump. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So the word of the Lord came to me. Son of man.
You mere human.
You fucking worm.
Right.
Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, drove his army in a hard campaign against Tyre. Every head was rubbed bare and every shoulder made raw. Yet he and his army got no reward from the campaign he led against Tyre. Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says.
Why are we talking about Tyre now?
I don't know.
We were just talking about Egypt. We talked about Tyre the last two chapters.
I don't know.
It's a weird shift.
We're in a different little section.
Right.
Now.
No, but it's still a weird shift from Egypt back to Tyre.
Well, Babylon, kind of.
Yeah.
Tyre, Babylon. Yeah. He's saying Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, drove an army against Tyre.
Right. So this is the part where they
So let me go on because the next sentence might help clear it up. Okay. Sure. He and his army got no reward from the campaign he led against Tyre. Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says. I am going to give Egypt to Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, and he will carry off its wealth. He will loot and plunder the land as pay for his army. I have given him Egypt as a reward for his efforts because he and his army did it for me, declares the sovereign Lord.
That's interesting. Because I was just curious because this is, we've looked this up before.
Yeah.
And basically even Google says, never happened. That didn't, there were some skirmishes, there was some shit happening, but that never happened. Nope. There was Nebuchadnezzar never
took over
conquered Egypt ever.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to clarify that because that's
very false prophecy.
Yeah.
Very false prophecy.
Right. Now, from what I can see, there was some significant weakening of their power.
Sure.
But that was just because Nebuchadnezzar was very powerful and coming in, but they still held him off.
Yep.
So
Egypt is
what
still
it is.
The power that it is.
Yeah. Right.
It's still a big deal. We still talk about Egypt today.
Right.
On that day, I will make a horn grow for the Israelites, and I will open your mouth among them. Then they will know
that he's the fucking Lord.
That I am the fucking Lord.
Yeah.
The end.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So that was a completely false prophecy.
It was.
In some regards. Again, I'm sure that apologists will say that the invasions that did happen and that weakened Egypt were the ones that God was talking about, right? Mm-hmm. But that just doesn't track in my mind, right? Because they're supposed to be gone for 40 years. He's going to scatter them for 40 years. Mm-hmm. That never happened. And you can pick it apart and say, well, but no, well. They were supposed to be destroyed for 40 years.
Yeah, and they weren't.
Right. Period.
And they certainly weren't empty land.
Right.
For 40 years.
Yeah. So this is wrong. God was wrong. God was not correct in the Bible.
But what I'm really upset most about is that where it says, you great lying monster, or you great monster lying among your streams.
Yeah. In
other translations, it's a crocodile, and I was going to sing a crocodile song.
Oh, now you have crocodile tears, huh?
I do.
Yeah.
I'm really sad.
That's sad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I mean, you don't even ask me, what's a crocodile song?
What's a crocodile song?
I have a crocodile song.
Do you want to sing the crocodile song?
I do.
Go ahead and sing the crocodile song.
Have you heard a crocodile song before?
Maybe. I don't recall, but maybe.
Okay, so this is how it goes. Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Oh, she sailed away on a bright and sunny day on the back of a crocodile. You see, said she, he's as tame as he could be. I'll ride him down the Nile. Oh, the croc winked his eye as she waved 'em all goodbye, wearing a happy smile. At the end of the ride, the lady was inside, and the smile was on the crocodile.
I have heard it before.
Isn't that
it was a long
time
time ago, but yes, I have heard that before.
I fucking love the crocodile song, and I was looking forward to it because my notes said that there would be a crocodile.
From what I looked that up too, just to but it is some sort of a reference to probably a crocodile or something.
Yeah.
So yeah. But you got to sing it anyway.
I know, but we
talked about it.
I had to force it in there, though.
You did have to force it in there.
I had to shoehorn it.
Yeah, much like God tried to force this prophecy into the Bible, apparently.
Oh my God, you just compared me to God.
I mean, you're much more real and better, so.
Aw, thanks.
I'll take you over God any day.
Really?
For sure.
Aw, thanks. I love you too.
All right. I think that's all we got for today.
That's all we got for today.
So that was Ezekiel Chapter 29.
Sure as fuck was.
Which means that we will be back tomorrow with
Ezekiel Chapter 30.
All right. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Hey, wife. I guess that's the end?
But husband, that's just sad.
It doesn't have to be. We are on lots of social media platforms like Twitter. Our handle there is sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh my God. Stop doing that. Anyway, we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest. There's a link to all of our social media sites at our website.
Ooh, we have a website?
Yeah, it's sacrilegiousdiscourse.com, where you can also find a link to our merch shop.
We have a merch shop?
Yep. We have podcast-themed clothing, mugs, notebooks, and more, as well as an atheist and science-themed products.
Wow, our fans should really go check that out right now.
Definitely. They can get in touch with us by sending an email to sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. But before they do that, we could really use some help.
Oh yeah? With what?
Well, it's not free running the podcast, and we need some financial support in order to get better equipment, which will free up time so we can concentrate on our podcast and our fans.
Okay, so what should they do?
Head over to patreon.com/sacrilegiousdiscourse and sign up as a contributor on our podcast. Supporters there receive additional bi-weekly episodes that we record just for our Patreon members for as little as $2 a month.
Also, we'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe on whatever platform you're using.
And Apple Podcast reviews help us out tremendously.
Like and subscribe. Leave an Apple review. Join us on Twitter. Support us on Patreon. That's a lot of instructions. Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.